At 3 a.m., my dad texted, "We tore your room apart. Your niece needs a playroom. You're 24, not some pathetic freeloader. Time to grow the hell up." Then followed, "We signed you as co-signer on your brother's $18,000 loan. It's done. Don't screw his life like you did yours." I didn't reply. Just clocked out, went home, dropped a flash drive through the mail slot, no note, no goodbye. This morning they played it. Now my dad's outside in his boxers screaming for the neighbors to help. My mom's on the driveway barefoot and crying, shouting that it's all lies. So this started with something kind of dumb that just felt off, like not even dramatic. I was getting home after a late night, wasn't out partying, just out whatever. And in the hallway this little pink plastic teapot was on the stairs, which my niece is always leaving her stuff around, but it was weird to see it upstairs. Usually my mom would have nagged about that. I kicked it to the side and I'm about to head to my room, but I hear these voices in the kitchen. Real hushed, like they're talking about someone dying. That's never a good sign in my house. I just ignored it. Went to my room, or tried to, except my door was wide open, which no one leaves doors open in my house. Not unless they're looking for a fight. And the first thing I saw was my old bed gone. Like totally gone. Not pushed aside, not covered in junk. Just straight up not there. Some of my posters are ripped down. My shelves are empty. There's crayon marks on the one wall and a box of those cheap foam blocks in the corner. I just stood there for a sec. And for just like, am I in the right house? Did someone rob me but only take my bed? I started laughing, which was probably a mistake because my mom was right behind me suddenly and she was just acting like this was totally normal, like, "Oh yeah, we needed the space. You'll be fine in the den. Your niece needs a playroom. You're barely ever home anyway." I could hear my sister downstairs laughing. Didn't even try to come up. Just sent my niece running up the hall with an arm full of those squishy animals she's obsessed with. She didn't even look at me, just dumped them on the floor and ran back down screaming for her mom. So, I'm standing in this empty room, my stuff shoved in boxes, my bed gone. And my mom's just like, "You're 24. Stop acting like a kid. You're holding everyone back. It's not forever. You'll thank us later." She just walked out. Didn't even wait for me to say anything. I followed her to the stairs and she just ignored me. Slammed the kitchen door behind her. My dad was in there. I could hear him talking low, but he stopped when I got close. I didn't go in. I just stood in the hall holding my phone. I wish I could say I lost it or something, but honestly, I just felt so stupid. Like, why am I still here? I should have left 3 years ago, but moving out is expensive. And my parents know I'm not flush with cash, so they've always held that over me. Like, "You want to go? Fine, but you'll be back." Just like your cousin. I went back to what was left of my room. Just sat on a box and scrolled Reddit. Tried not to think too much. Around 3 a.m., that's when my phone buzz. First, it's my dad. And it's not, "Hey, sorry," or even an explanation. It's just, "We tore your room apart. Your niece needs a playroom. You're 24, not some pathetic freeloader. Time to grow the hell up." Then a minute later, he sends another like he's on a roll. "We signed you as co-signer on your brother's $18,000 loan. It's done. Don't screw his life up like you did yours." And like, I know some people are going to say I'm making this up, but he's always been like this. Just does things then tells you after like you should thank him for it. My brother's always been the golden boy. Younger, never had to pay for anything. Always got bailed out. When I was his age, I was paying my own bills and getting yelled at for not saving enough. My dad acts like I'm some loser just because I don't hand over my paycheck every week. He's mad because I don't help him out with his side hustles or cover for my brother when he forgets to pay his phone bill. My mom just goes along with it. Acts like she's stuck, but she's always the one cleaning up after my brother. Never after me. I didn't reply. I sat there, phone in hand, just thinking how many times this has happened, just not this bad. I could hear my dad laughing in the kitchen, and my brother's voice, loud like always, like he owns the place. I tried to sleep on the couch, but my niece woke up at like 5 o'clock and started screaming for her tablet. My mom started yelling at me to just let her play in my old room, like I was the jerk for being annoyed. So, I got up, found the one box with my important stuff, grabbed my old laptop, my passport, a few random things, nothing else. I went into the kitchen, saw my dad in there with his phone, grinning at something. He looked up and just nodded. Didn't even ask what I was doing. My brother was eating cereal, didn't look at me, just kept scrolling on his phone like I was invisible. I pushed past them both, not even gentle about it. My dad just said, "You're not going to start something, are you?" I didn't even answer. I walked out, got in my car, drove around for a while, didn't know where to go. I texted a couple people. No one answered. It was too early. I ended up just parked outside a 24-hour place, sat there on my phone trying to decide what to do. I thought about all the stupid times I'd covered for my brother. All the money my dad borrowed and never paid back. All the times my mom guilt-tripped me for wanting space. I really just sat there playing with the flash drive on my keys, thinking, nah, this isn't even surprising. Just the next level up. I went back home around 7 o'clock. No one up yet except my mom, who just glared at me like, how dare I show my face? I went upstairs, grabbed the rest of what I could carry, and left a flash drive in the mail slot. No note, nothing. I could hear my mom yelling for my dad as I got back in the car, her voice getting all high and panicky, but I didn't stop. So now I'm at a friend's, not even a close friend, just someone I know from online. I'm sitting here typing this, just watching my phone, waiting for the messages to start. I know my dad's going to lose it when he figures out what's on that drive. My brother will probably show up somewhere, try to act like this is all my fault. My mom will probably call every aunt and try to make me look like the bad guy. I'm not even mad, just tired. But I'm not letting this slide. If they want war, they're going to get it. I'll update when they play the drive. It's not going to be pretty. Update 1. So update. Didn't sleep much. Not really a surprise, but still. Woke up before my alarm even went off. Not that I needed it. Just kept checking my phone like some idiot. But nothing from my parents, just a half-dozen random pings from the family group chat. Mostly memes or my Aunt Kristen dropping updates about her cats. But then my dad jumps in right out of nowhere. Not even a good morning. Just starts going off about kids these days having no respect. Like not even subtle, just fully broadcasting. Some people in this family think the world owes them a free ride. And people who don't contribute don't get to make demands. Nobody even replies for a minute. So he doubles down, starts tagging me and my brother like he wants everyone to see, says my niece finally got her playroom, and it's about time priorities got fixed around here. My cousin Jill, who's always been on my mom's side, just likes the message, and my uncle Andrew sends a thumbs up, like he's trying to stay out of it. My brother finally shows up in the chat. Classic Jason, and he says something about how people need to pull their weight, and not everything's about them. I just put my phone down, didn't even want to read it. But then my mom starts calling, and when I don't answer, she starts texting. Then calling again, then texting my friend's phone, which in jail was a move I did not see coming. I'm at this friend's apartment. Not even close friends. More like someone I know from a Discord server who happened to have a spare couch. So I'm just trying not to make it weird. I'm not about to air my family drama in his place. So I duck into the little laundry room and call my mom back. She answers all out of breath like she's been running. And she doesn't even say hi. Just launches in about how I'm making things worse. How could I just leave? How dare I embarrass her in front of everyone? She says my dad is mad, but he'll get over it. But I need to come home and apologize. And if I don't, she'll tell everyone I stole from them, which is so wild considering I literally left with like a duffel bag, and that's it. I just say, I'm not coming back. And she slams the phone down. Not the first time she's done that, TBH. So, I go back to scrolling, but now the group chat is popping off because my dad is now copying parts of my old text from months ago. Basically trying to make me look ungrateful. He's screenshotting stuff where I asked for money for gas or when I needed to borrow the car and sending it to the group. Then he's saying, see, this is what I mean. Always taking, never giving. My Aunt Christine, who's usually Switzerland, just sends a gift and says, maybe we should talk privately. But of course, my dad doesn't listen. Then I get a text from my brother, not in the group, just direct. And it's all, thanks for screwing me over. Dad says, you're being a child. Just sign the loan stuff already. I tell him I didn't sign crap and he says, it's done already, so stop acting like a victim. So FR. At this point, I'm just pissed. I open my notes app and start writing down every single thing I ever did for these people. All the times my dad made me run errands for him, all the money I put into the house, every single time I loaned my brother cash that never got paid back. I start digging through my old emails for receipts, texts, anything. I have a folder from when I tried to get my own place last year and my dad said I was too broke. And I find a bunch of stuff about utilities being in my name, which I forgot about. I realize I've got actual proof I was paying the water bill for like 9 months and my brother's phone bill is still coming out of my account. I go on the banking app, cut off his autopay, and text him that it's done. He replies with a wall of angry emojis and says, I'm being petty, but I don't even care. Then my dad calls and I answer this time just to see what he'll say. And he's already yelling when I pick up. He says I'm ruining everything. Family comes first. The loan is for my brother because he actually has a future, unlike me. And I'm lucky they kept me around this long. I tell him he can't just sign my name on things and he laughs like, what are you going to do about it? You're nothing without this family. I hang up. He calls back. I don't answer. He calls again. So, I finally answer and just hold the phone out while he rants, then hang up again. My mom texts me a guilt trip paragraph about how I'm tearing the family apart and how my niece doesn't understand why I left and why can't I just be happy for someone else for once. She says, if I come home now, they'll forgive me, but if I keep acting like this, I'll regret it. I don't reply. Meanwhile, my friend's roommate comes home and is all, hey, you good? Because I guess he can hear me on the phone through the wall. I just say, yeah, family stuff. Sorry. He shrugs, says, sounds rough. I sit there for a while just scrolling TikTok trying to zone out, but my phone keeps buzzing and now my cousin is DMing me on Instagram saying my mom is crying and dad says I stole something important and what's actually going on. I just reply, ask them what's really happening and she says she's not getting in the middle. So yeah, I'm just sitting here taking notes, collecting receipts, screenshots, all of it. I start drafting a message for the group chat but I don't send it. Feels too soon. Need to get everything together first. I'm not just going to let them spin their own story. Not this time. I call the credit union, ask about the loan. The lady is super skeptical. Says she can't give me info unless I come in person. But she takes a note that I didn't consent and that I want a copy of anything signed with my name. I Google what to do if your info gets used for a loan without your permission. It's all stressful, but I get that I'm going to have to be the one to clean it up as always. My brother texts again, says if I don't come back, he's telling everyone I stole his money. I tell him, go for it. I got receipts. He doesn't reply. I start messaging a couple of my dad's friends that I know he owes money to. Just casual stuff like, did you ever get paid back? Most don't answer, but one says, nah, not yet. Why? I just say, might be good to check in soon. So now the group chat is full-on family drama. Dad's still trying to make me look bad. Mom's sending guilt trips, brother threatening, sister not even responding. She just posts a pic of my niece in her new playroom. And tags everyone. I see my old bed in the background with my niece jumping on it and I just laugh. Uncle Leonard messages me privately, says, hang in there. It's just family stress, but don't do anything dumb. I don't reply. Ick. This is all just getting started. I'm not letting it go this time. Tomorrow, I'm pulling every record, every payment, every screenshot. They wanted to play games. Well, game on. Next update when the drive gets played. I doubt they're ready. Update 2. So, and I thought things were already blown up, but my family is like, nah, let's see how much more insane this can get. Felt like I was just watching from the outside, scrolling through messages with that weird feeling like, this can't really be my life. But then my phone kept going and every time it buzzed, I knew it was going to be something messy. It started early, like before I'd even had coffee. My mom tried calling again, but when she didn't get me, she started leaving voice memos. Real shaky, like she's making herself cry harder, so it'll sound worse. Background noise of my niece yelling. Can hear my sister saying, just let him go. He'll come crawling back. My mom says I'm selfish and I'm humiliating her and everyone's asking question. I didn't answer, just listened, deleted, blocked her for a bit. Not even half an hour later, my brother is blowing up my phone, just spamming texts about how I'm ruining his life since the loan office is calling him nonstop. Now, apparently, they flagged something weird since the signature doesn't match. And now they want to talk to me. He says it's just money. And I'm being dramatic, but also if I don't fix this, he's going to have to move back home. And that's my fault too. That's when my dad jumps into the group chat again. But this time, he's tagging everybody in the family, including people who don't even live nearby. He says, I've gone off the rails. I'm trying to wreck my brother's future. He did what any father would, and now I'm trying to make him look bad. He sends a pic of his new home office, which is literally just the den with my mattress on the floor in the background and my niece's chalk drawings on the wall. Aunt Christine says, maybe this isn't for the group, Leonard. My cousin Jill just sends a sticker. No one else says a thing. I start thinking, why are they even doing this in public? Why do they need an audience? It's always been that way though. My dad is big on looking like the perfect family in front of people. So, when things break down, he tries to control the story before anyone else can. He always had this thing about how I'm the problem son because I didn't do things his way. He says I'm lazy, but what he means is I won't let him run my life. He treats me like I'm just another tool in the shed. Something to use when he's short on options, not an actual person. Anyway, it's not just group chat drama. Now, the family money stuff is real. I spent the whole morning digging through my old folders and emails, getting every single bill, every transfer, every favor I did for them, and I started dropping little bombs. So, first thing, I logged into the utility site, changed the passwords, and shut down the autopay I was still running for the house. Then I sent my brother the receipts for the phone bill and told him he's on his own now. He said I was being a jerk, but I told him I was done being their safety net. I found a couple old emails from when my dad had me sign stuff just in case years ago. And I realized my name was on their second car. I called the insurance company and told them to take me off the policy effective immediately. The guy on the phone seemed confused. Said he'd have to call my dad to confirm. I said, go for it. While that's happening, my mom starts texting again, but now it's not guilt, it's threats. She says I'm making her sick. She can't sleep. She can't eat. And if people find out what I did to the family, she'll never forgive me. Then she says I should watch my back because family always finds out when you cross them. I just screenshot everything and send it to a private folder just in case. I get a DM on Facebook from my cousin saying, hey, your dad is calling everyone asking if they've seen you. Then another from an old neighbor saying, my dad dropped by and was asking weird questions about where I'm staying. So yeah, he's in panic mode because without me, the money stuff is falling apart. I texted the credit union again, asked for a copy of the loan paperwork, said I didn't consent. They said I'd need to come in and show ID, which I plan to do, but until then, I let them know I'm not responsible for any payments. My brother tries to FaceTime me. I ignore it. Then he texts, says if I don't help him out, he'll just show up where I'm staying and get the money himself. I tell him to try it. By midday, I'm getting texts from aunts and uncles. Some are worried, some are nosy. One uncle says he heard I stole money and I should do the right thing and give it back. I tell him to ask my dad how much money he owes me and to check the receipts. He doesn't reply. Then my sister finally texts me. First time since this all started. She says, Mom is losing it. Dad is yelling. Niece is upset. And can I please just talk to them? I say, not unless they admit what they did. She says, that's not going to happen. You know how they are. I say, then this isn't my problem. Funniest part, my dad tries calling my old friends like he's going to shame me into coming home. One of them actually answers and tells him to leave me alone. My dad hangs up on him. Around dinner time, my mom tries to get my Aunt Kristen to mediate. She calls, but she's not really on anyone's side. Just says, you know, they're your parents, but you also have to look out for yourself. I say, that's all I've ever done. And she just sighs. Says, family's complicated. No kidding. The best though is when my dad finally finds the flash drive I left, and I guess they decide to watch it together because suddenly the group chat is dead silent for almost an hour. Then my dad goes off in the chat, says everything I put on there is lies. Says I'm trying to ruin the family. Says if anyone believes me, they're out of the will like that means anything. My mom texts my sister saying she can't believe I would do this to her. My brother just leaves the chat. I get a text from Jill who's never really liked me, but she says, "Is it true? Did they really use your name for the loan?" I say, "Why would I lie?" She says, "It just seems like a lot." My uncle Andrew sends a DM, says, "You're not the only one dealing with this kind of stuff, but keep receipts." I say, "Always." So, yeah, things are just getting nastier. My dad is trying to spin it with anyone who will listen, but more people are asking questions. The money stuff is catching up with them, and the utilities are already overdue. My brother is freaking out about his credit. And my mom is calling everyone she knows crying saying I set them up. But the thing is I'm not backing down. Tomorrow I'm going to the credit union in person. They want to play games. I'll play too. I'm not letting them write my story this time. Next update when things really hit the fan. The neighbors are starting to notice and my parents are about to lose it for real. Final update. So I figured the group chat drama and money mess was peak. But turns out that was just the warm-up. My family's like a reality show with no off switch. If you told me last week I'd wake up to texts about my dad outside in his underwear screaming for the neighbors, I'd say you're trolling. But here we are. It kicked off early, way too early for anyone to be this loud. I got a ping from my cousin Jill. She just sends me a pic from across the street. My dad's standing in the yard, bare legs, boxers and all. Phone in one hand, flailing the other, yelling at the neighbor like he's about to have a full-on meltdown. The neighbor, old guy, always mowing the lawn at the worst times, just stands there looking confused, arms crossed like, "What do you want me to do about your kid?" My mom's on the driveway barefoot, hair a mess, actually crying loud enough I can hear her over the phone when Jill calls me. She's shouting that it's all lies. It's all fake. Don't listen to it. He's trying to ruin us. My sister's in the background yelling at my dad to get inside and stop making a scene. My niece is just sitting on the steps with her squishy toys, not even fazed. The whole block is out. Half still in pajamas, some filming, most just watching. So, yeah, not subtle. The thing that set it off was the flash drive. Last night, my parents finally opened it up on the laptop in the kitchen, probably expecting some dramatic note or apology or whatever. Instead, they got a full breakdown, screenshots, voice memos, scanned copies of bills in my name, every bank transfer, every text where my dad told me to just sign this. It's easier if you don't ask question. I didn't even go hard. Just facts. But apparently seeing it all lined up broke something because the neighbor called my Aunt Kristen to say my dad was losing it outside. And that's when the whole circus started. My dad's yelling, "Somebody help. He's ruining my family. He's making up stories. None of it's true. You know me. You know I'd never do that." The neighbor asks if he's been drinking, which Lomeo probably not even wrong. My mom's still on the driveway now yelling at my sister who's trying to drag her back in the house. She slaps my sister's hand away, then slams the gate. My brother isn't even out there. He must be hiding, which is honestly the only smart move I've seen from him in days. Group chats blowing up again now with extended family jumping in. Uncle Andrew says, "What's going on over there? Why is Leonard outside yelling at the whole block?" Aunt Christine says, "Can someone get him off Facebook?" My dad jumps in, says I made up everything, says I'm ungrateful, says I forged his name to get back at them. My mom says I'm cruel. She raised me better. I should be ashamed. Someone else just sends a popcorn emoji, which Eniel made me laugh. Then I start getting messages from neighbors I barely know saying, "Is everything okay over there? Your dad just accused you of trying to bankrupt the family." I say, "Tell him to check the credit union and to stop putting loans in my name." One lady says, "Wow, didn't know it was like that." Another just says, "Hope you're safe." At some point, my dad storms back inside, slams the front door so hard I can hear it through Jill's phone. My mom tries to follow, but my sister blocks the door. They're both yelling at each other and my niece starts crying. So, My sister picks her up and carries her inside, slamming the door. The neighbor just shakes his head and goes back to his port. I start getting texts from old friends, people I haven't talked to in years, saying my mom is calling everyone, saying I stole from them, that I'm unstable. One guy actually asks if I need a place to crash, which is wild because he's never even liked me. I say I'm good, just tired of being the scapegoat. My dad tries to call me. I don't pick up. He leaves a voicemail, says, I need to fix this. I need to call everyone and say it was a mistake or else he'll tell everyone I'm a thief. I text him back, you want to play dirty? Let's go. He doesn't reply. Later, my brother finally texts. Says, I ruined everything. He's not going to be able to get the loan. He can't believe I do this, so I just reply, take care of your own mess for once. He leaves me on read. By noon, the family group chat is just a war zone. Aunt Kristen tries to mediate again. Says, maybe we should all talk face to face, but my dad says he's not meeting until I apologize. My mom says she's sick, can't eat, can't sleep. Classic. Uncle Andrew says, this is what happens when you hide things for too long. My cousin Jill just posts the video she took of my dad yelling in his boxers, tags half the family. My dad loses it, leaves the chat, then comes back, then leaves again. The utilities are officially overdue now. I got the notice in my email, so the water's going to get shut off if they don't pay. The car insurance called, said, my name's off the policy. Hope you got it sorted. The credit union says they're putting the loan on hold, pending investigation. So, my brother's mad, my dad's furious, my mom's crying, and I'm just sitting here watching it all unfold. I know some people are going to say this is petty or that I should let it go, but honestly, I'm just done letting them use me. My dad's always treated me like I'm disposable, like I'm just there to cover his mistakes. And my mom lets him because she's scared of what happens if she doesn't. My brother expects to be bailed out. My sister just wants peace. And my niece, well, she's 4, so she's just along for the ride. I'm not going back, not fixing it for them, not apologizing. If they want to play the victim in front of the whole neighborhood, that's on them. I did what I had to do, and I'm not sorry. Last I heard, my dad's sulking in the den. My mom's calling every relative, and my brother's trying to find someone else to co-sign for him. The family group chat is just memes and awkward silence now. I'm staying out of it. Let them clean up their own mess for once. Guess I'll see what they do when I'm not around to blame. Welcome to Hidden Lies, where we uncover the raw, unfiltered truths people hide behind closed doors. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life revelations, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from Hidden Lies. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What would you have done in this situation? Thanks for watching Hidden Lies.